Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. So this one's going to be a slightly different sort of video. I know I've been trying that a bit lately, but it's always interesting to spice up a bit, I guess, and do a different one every now and again. So in this video I'm going to be going through some creepy and mysterious photos that may never actually be explained. None of these are gory or graphic, they're just more intriguing, I guess, more than anything else. So I'll put the videos on the screen for you and I'll be talking in the background. I think that's going to be the best way of doing it. So let's get cracking. So the first one, so this photo is taken in 1941 at the reopening of the South Forks Bridge in Canada. At first glance, it looks like any other photo from that period in time, but if you check out the details, something isn't quite right. There seems to be a man dressed in modern clothing among the hats and suits of the 1940s. He also seems to be holding a modern camera, wearing odd glasses and sporting a logo that doesn't quite fit the time period. So this could be like, is it a time traveller? I remember when I first saw this photo, I was just thinking, oh my god, time travel is real and this is the evidence, it's on camera. But I mean, like, it could be real. I mean, I'm never saying never and all that, but yeah, so that is the first one. And then the second one I wanted to discuss today, there's only 8 in total. I know it's a really random number as well, 8, but you know, it is what it is. Anyways, so the second one that should be on your screen now is in 1964, a French photographer spotted and took a quick picture of what resembles a giant snake-like creature resting on the seafloor of the coast of Queensland, Australia. While some have offered the idea that it's a giant tarp, no credible explanation has ever been found for this bizarre photo. So for me, I don't really believe, like me personally, just my opinion, I don't believe that this would be a giant tarp. It does seem more so like a creature. But again, that's just my thoughts. If you guys have any ideas for what could be in the photo, let me know in the comments below. It's always good to have a little discussion going on. Well, anyway, let's move on to the next one. So the next one I want to discuss is this one, and I've saw it, like, this has been on the internet for years. I mean, a lot of these photos have been on the internet for years. So when I was a baby vampire, I remember seeing these photos, and it's called that. There's still not an explanation, so it's quite interesting. So for this one, it says, as most families would, the Coopers moved into the new house in Texas and wanted to take a photo of the family sitting together. However, as the photo was taken, a body appears to be falling from the ceiling. As further investigation has brought no plausible explanation, there are many speculations as to what is happening. So this will creep me out. I mean, like, I know I'm into true crime and everything, but this is a new extreme. I would not want a body falling from my ceiling. Like, no chances would I want that to happen. Imagine that. Imagine moving to a new house, you take a photo, you look at the photo and there's just a dead body there. You're like, what on earth is going on? But yeah, so that is definitely creepy and very intriguing. I find creepy stuff very intriguing for some reason. But there we go. So for this one, the next one is on May 20th, 1967, Stephen Michalak was in the woods near Falcon Lake, Manitoba in Canada, when he saw 2 cigar-shaped UFOs land close by. When the door on one of the crafts opened, Michalak heard voices and then tried to communicate with the beings inside. He approached the door to the craft, but couldn't make out anything inside except for what described to be a maze of lights. Suddenly the aircraft's door closed and the object began to rise. It then expelled some sort of hot air at Michalak through a grid-like vent that caused his shirt to erupt in flames. At a local hospital, doctors were puzzled by the gridded burn sign all across Michalak's chest, which you can see in the photo that I've got on screen for you now. So yeah, that one's quite an interesting one. Did this guy like turn into aliens? Like, you know, was he a bit close to the UFOs? We'll never know, but it is quite an interesting thought, and I do believe in aliens. I don't believe we are alone in the universe. So it's certainly possible. well, I think it's possible. Like I say, I loved it. It is my opinion because we've got no answers for the photos I am showing you. But yeah, it's quite an interesting one, to be fair. And this next one that's on your screen now. So, um, a guy called Jim Templeton took this photo of his daughter while they were out for the day. At the time of the photo, Templeton didn't notice anything strange in the marsh area where they were. However, after the film was developed, he noticed what appeared to be a spaceman standing right behind his daughter. There was no one else around when the photo was taken, and Kodak even weighed in, saying that the film was not altered in any way. So, for those that have been living under a rock, Kodak are the camera company. But yeah, so I mean, this one's quite interesting. I mean, it looks like a spaceman. I don't know on other parts of the internet that this is like the spaceman photo. I have saw theories of it being a woman that's walking away from the camera. But like I say, none of this has actually been confirmed. I just find it very intriguing, especially when they say that, well, it hasn't been altered, so we know that. Like, we know that for definite. But then it's like, well, who is it? How has it happened? Why was it not noticed before the photo was taken? These are the questions that keep me up at night. Right, let's get cracking on the next one. One moment, guys. Here we go. And this one, I read about this in my, like, I had a book that was all to do with like random mysteries and stuff, and this came up for spontaneous human combustion. So this is the murder scene photo. Murder scene photos typically help investigators put together the pieces surrounding the death. But what St. Petersburg, Florida cops snapped in 1951 has baffled us for over half a century. The death scene of Mary Reeser was a grim and bizarre one. The woman's entire body had been engulfed by flame in her armchair, consuming everything but her left foot, which was intact. The intense heat had already shrunken her skull, but bizarrely nothing else in the room was touched. The pictures baffle forensic investigators to this day. So this one does really intrigue me because I am quite into my true crime and stuff like that, and like, you know, mysteries and stuff, and spontaneous human combustion is something that has interested me for quite a while. I just find it fascinating that people, like, when I was reading more about it, I remember the book saying that basically there's not no like definite answer, but then it seems like the fire starts from inside a person's body and then comes out. Because I'm not 100% sure how they know that exactly, but it must be from, you know, looking at different cases and stuff. I mean, like, and this one, her leg was like survived, and that doesn't make sense to me, but it's also very interesting. So yeah, that is quite an interesting one, to be fair. And the next one, so this one, like I say, into true crime. So I've known about this case for a while, but it's the death of Elisa Lam. So it says the death of Elisa Lam has been a mystery since it happened in 2013. The 21-year-old student was found dead in a rooftop water tank at Hotel Cecil, where she had been staying. It's not entirely known how she got onto the roof, which was barricaded at the time, but there is a very bizarre elevator videotape showing her the hotel the day she went missing. In the footage, Lam is seen exiting and re-entering the elevator, talking and gesturing to the hallway outside, and sometimes seen hiding within the elevator, which was oddly malfunctioning that day. So, I mean, I do feel for Lisa Lam, and it would be good to know how she died, how she sadly passed away, and what the footage means. I mean, I have saw the footage before, and this is just one of the photos. The footage is widely available if anyone's interested. There are YouTube videos and Google. There are stuff that does come up. But yeah, I mean, there are different theories around Elisa Lam. But yeah, I mean, I hope that they do find out what happened to her. I know there have been fun like Kickstarters and stuff. And I know that there's a documentary on Netflix that I watched that was about the Cecil Hotel. and about Elisa Lam. So hopefully, like, you know, a lot of people are wondering, well, what actually happened to her. I just hope that her family can find peace. And you know, I'm not saying that they'll get over it, but you know, they'll find peace with it. I think that's the main thing. Even just knowing what happened to the daughter, because you know it's going to be very tough. Especially, I think it's the not knowing that that people really struggle with. So I just hope that family can find peace. That's all we could ever ask for, really, isn't it? So let's go on to the last one. So this last one, it's the woman in the brown coat, or the babushka lady, as she was later called by the FBI, was very close to JFK when he was assassinated in Dallas. According to eyewitnesses, this woman filmed the entire thing. It's thought that her vantage point, she might have been able to answer some critical questions about what really happened that day. However, the FBI was never able to track her down, and no one has since been able to figure out the identity of this mysterious observer. So yeah, the babushka lady is one that I heard about before as well, and it is quite mysterious because she did seem like, I know that there's another photograph as well, but in this one as well, this one's probably the better one that I found. It is mysterious because no one has saw the photos and recordings that she actually did record. As far as I know, from I couldn't see any sources or anything. As far as I know, at the time of recording this, no one saw the photos or the recordings that she did manage to get, and it's just very bizarre. Like I reckon that it could possibly be a spy, and like I say, I don't know for definite. No one knows who this woman is. But it's just very strange that she seemed to know what was going to happen when JFK got assassinated, and she decided to record it. So firstly, she knew it was going to happen, and secondly, she recorded it. Now that they're both weird points to me, because one, how would you know? Like, you don't just assume that the American president's gonna get assassinated at, like, you know, when he's driving with his wife, I believe it was, yeah, with his wife. Like, that's just random as anything. So for her to know, and then for her to record it as well, so why would you record an assassination? Even if you knew assassination was going to happen, and even if you really did not like that person, why would you record it? That's why I think that she could potentially be a spy or something. But anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think. If you have anything that you would like me to cover in the future, just let me know, either in the comments below. I've got X and I've got Instagram. I'm active on all of those. My email address is in my YouTube bio. If you wanted to shoot me over an email, if you wanted to stay anonymous, that's completely fine. I'm cool with that. But yeah, so let me know, and if you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe. It does really help out the channel, and it helps me know what you guys like. And I'll see you all in the next one.